So most of us know that Windows 10 sounds were basically Windows 8 sounds, and they've been the same. But what you may have not known is that the startup sound for Windows 10 is the same startup sound Windows 7 had. They just had it disabled by default. Check this out. So when Windows 10 first came out, I stayed up all night to get it installed onto my PC. I was that enthusiastic about it. But with Windows 11, not so much. I mean, I waited quite a while before even considering installing it. I remember downloading the install file and just keeping it there for more than a month. Not because I didn't like the look or the standard icons on the taskbar or anything like that. I actually quite like the way it looks. For me, it was more of it breaking something in one of the tools I'm using, so I was like, maybe hold off a bit. But I did finally manage to install it, and I have to say I do like most of what they're doing with it. It looks good. I like the new rounded corners, the centered icons on the taskbar, but I don't like everything about it. And here is 5 things about Windows 10 that I don't like. The first is the context menu. So they've condensed down the context menu in Windows 11, and that long list that used to have all the options you needed, well, now that's kind of gone. You get the basics that Windows thinks most people would need when you right click on any file or folder. But if you want more options, you'd have to go to the very bottom and click show all options. And it's actually quite annoying. I found myself needing to do that quite a few times already, and I don't like it. Luckily, there's a fix for that. I'll link it in the description below if you'd like to check it out. The second thing I don't like about Windows 11 is dragging and dropping files between applications doesn't work anymore. So we've all done this before. Maybe you want to upload a file or a picture to a website, and the website tells you drag and drop files. So you go back to Windows Explorer and click your file, hold and drag, and hoping that when you hover over your browser, it'll open and then you can drop it there. No joy in Windows 11. To do that, you're going to have to click and drag your file and then Alt Tab to the program you want to drop it in, and it's annoying again. Luckily, there's also a fix for that, but it involves registry editing and all that. Anyway, I'll leave it also linked in the description if you are interested. The third thing I don't like about Windows, and this is probably not a big issue for many people, but it's peeking the desktop. On Windows 10 and prior, you could set the taskbar to peek at the desktop, so when you hover your mouse on the right corner of the taskbar, it'll make all the other windows transparent and you'd see what's on your desktop. Now that I think about it, I don't actually know why I wanted. Anyway, I just like checking out my wallpaper. It keeps changing and I want to see which one's on. That's just it. And since we're talking about the taskbar options, they're also gone from, the taskbar doesn't have a context menu anymore. So when you right click, it will give you one option, which is go to Taskbar Settings, which is in the Settings app, which doesn't have pretty much all the options that you had before. Options like peek at desktop. I know, okay, I'm done with that one. And the final thing is the quick settings. In previous Windows, your settings for Wi-Fi volume and battery were all separate, and you'd click each icon and get a different menu for each. Well, those 3 are now bundled together, which is fine for some things, but for other things it isn't. Like for example, now me checking out the battery percentage, while I can hover over the battery icon and see how much I have left, I can't see the time that is left, and I have to click on it and then click again on the battery icon that shows up in the settings menu, which will then take me to the settings app. But it's actually not all bad, and most of the things I mentioned are pretty minor things if you think about it, and there's actually quite a lot to like about Windows 11. And here are 5 cool features that Windows 11 has. The first thing is the animations. So for Windows 11, they have all brand new animations for pretty much everything. When you first launch a program, the way it pops up on this taskbar when you switch between apps on the taskbar, the animation also, there's a little animation there. Then the progress bars, when you're either transferring files or downloading something, or something is loading, they look pretty dope as well. Finally, the brightness slider. So in Windows 10, to find the brightness slider, you'd have to do quite a bit of digging, and it wasn't always in the same place. Sometimes it was under the battery quick settings, which wasn't even a slider, it was just a button that would increment 25% each time you tapped on it. And sometimes it was under the other quick settings, so it was really not the best situation. At least now it's in one place and you can find it easily, along with the volume slider as well. So thumbs up to that. The next thing is Windows snapping. So Windows already does a pretty good job of multitasking and having different windows stacked on the screen neatly. So on previous versions of Windows, you'd have to grab your window and drag it to either the edges or the top right or top left edge to size them and snap them to that edge. Well, now you don't have to do that at all. All you have to do is hover over the maximize or restore down icon, which is the middle box icon, and it'll give you options of where you'd like to place your windows. So you could have two windows side by side, you could have one window occupying 2/3 of the screen and the other a third, or a grid of 4, or whatever it is. And the options grow even more if you're on a larger display, so pretty good, that window snapping. The next thing I like about Windows is the notification center and the quick settings. I like the new aesthetic. I think it looks quite good. Your controls are there. There's even media controls for whatever media you're playing, and the notifications are organized quite neatly, and there's even a calendar at the bottom which you can expand and collapse if you want. The final cool feature about Windows 11 is the sounds. So most of us know that Windows 10 sounds were basically Windows 8 sounds, and they've been the same. But what you may have not known is that the startup sound for Windows 10 is the same startup sound Windows 7 had. They just had it disabled by default. For Windows 11, they've done away with all that and given us all new sounds. They sound quite sci-fi and futuristic and calming, and I like that. Kind of like the bongs you get in a Tesla. Never been in a Tesla, but you know, watch a video or something. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, maybe consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments, what are your most annoying features about Windows 11 and what are your most liked features of Windows 11. Anyway, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next video.